Okay, so we are here on our last step of cleaning data, and you can see that I have some missing responses here. I added more just for fun, but basically our final step is that we need to filter out anybody who didn't complete all of our variables of interest. So you should have two variables of interest. Here I have my GAD total. I have some missing responses here. And then I might have missing responses in my independent variable. And so I would want to filter those out as well. So the first thing I want to do is I want to identify how many people I have right now. So I'm going to right click on progress because everybody gets this. It's a Qualtrics generated score. I know everybody's going to have that. So I'm just going to run descriptive statistics and it tells me that I have 111 responses. So 111 responses here. So now and this is my output. So I'm going to minimize my output. What I want to do is I'm going to go to data and I'm going to go to select cases. Let me reset this. Okay, so the purpose here is that we can tell it to only select cases if they meet a certain criteria. So what we want to do is we want to say, come on computer, we want to say if condition is satisfied. So if condition is satisfied, we're going to keep our variables. We're going to say if here. We need to type in what we want it to do. So we're going to tell it that if it's not missing, we're going to select it. We want to keep it if it's not missing. And our variables of interest are GAD total. So I could double click there if I want to, or I could type it in. Or missing our other variable of interest, which is IV. Now, if you had another one that you didn't want to be missing, you could do or missing and do another one. But I'm just going to do these two and I'm going to do a close parenthesis. So this is in the guide that you have, so you can copy and paste this and just put your variable names here. So you'll just need to put in your variables of interest and say continue. Now I want you to select this copy selected cases to a new data set. So I'm going to give this a new data set name. I'm going to call this cleaned, actually, let's just say final Psych 144. I would give it a different name. I'm just using this name for general, but I would give it a name that is specific to what you collected. And then if you say okay, what we should find is that we have a new data set. Now this one's going to stay the same. So what I probably need to do, it didn't pop up automatically. That is not it. I need to find there it is. So notice that it didn't save it and just has this untitled 3. There's the final psych 144. And I'm going to do a quick check here. So I had 111 people in my previous data set. I want to right click on progress, do descriptive statistics, and I now have 86 valid. So what happened is I now have removed the 111 minus 86. I now have only responses where people have complete responses for both of my variables of interest. So then you would write down how many people did not complete your survey. So your final step here is you're going to save this. And you need to save it somewhere that you can find it. So make sure that you save it and then send it to yourself. So I know you already gave it a name, but we have to give it the name again or a different name. So Psych 144. We have the type. We're going to save it as a .sav. I do want to save it to my desktop and I'm going to click save. So this is now my final cleaned data set. And this is what you're going to submit for your FP8 assignment. So now it doesn't hurt to go through and take a look at the information that you have. I think it's always good to double check and make sure that that you actually have completed responses. So it's pretty easy to go through and just notice if anything's missing. Since this is a copy of the other version you have, you could also delete these variables now if you wanted to, because you don't need them anymore. You could even delete your GAD. I wouldn't delete those, but you can if you want to. So now you have your final data set. The next steps are going to be doing the descriptive and inferential analyses, but make sure that you save this copy. So save this one. And then I also want you to save this one, which is unfiltered. So we're going to save that. And that way you have both of these to go back to. So what I would recommend doing is once you're done cleaning this, if you finish this in lab, which you should, then go ahead and save this, save the other copy, and then send them both to yourself, or put them on a USB drive, or put them in a Porto, whatever you need to do. So that is the end of this video. And then we're going to move forward with doing descriptive and inferential analyses.